Good evening, this is the Urban Spaceman, and it's been a while since I've done a video in this format. But we're not here to discuss that, we're here to get on to Dagath, since that's what you're all here for, right? First things first, how do you get her? Well, her blueprints are gotten pretty easily from the new dojo room, Dagath's Hallow, and take a new resource called Warframe. Where do you get it? Well, it can be collected once you go to any syndicate shop and purchase an abyssal beacon. Head to Ceres and then you'll see a new mission called the Abyssal Zone. It's also glowing with a certain aura, so you can't miss it. It's pretty much an exterminate with extra steps, and after I finished one mission I got 8. Your number may vary. And once you mix the vein forms in with some really basic common ingredients, you've got yourself a Dagath. Now the stats, at first glance you can see the weakest link, which is the armor. Everything else is fairly decent, fairly standard, but don't worry. Even though it may not seem like she can survive, she's got a fair few tricks up her sleeve to help her survive in the likes of Steel Path missions. Her passive is pretty cool, giving you a 35% chance for health and energy pickups to be 300% more effective on Dagath, which you can imagine is really good once you tie that in with Arcane Energize, and if you subsume an ability like Fractured Blast, or in my case, since I didn't have a second citrine to feed my helmet, I'm using good old Dispensary, which is really slow in comparison, but hey, it gets the job done. Weird Scythes, however you may pronounce that, reminds me of Kulavo's Recompense. Instead of generating overguard, it slows down the enemies while they suffer viral damage. And like some of my favourite frames, like Harrow, it synergizes with her second ability, Doom. Doom marks all enemies affected by it, not within your usual radius, but within a 40-degree cone from where you're facing, if I believe it correctly. Once it marks enemies, it gives them a little scythe above their head, and all the damage you do once this scythe is visible is re-inflicted after 2 seconds of the scythe appearing. When you combo this with weird scythes, while a bunch of enemies are affected by Doom, it spreads, and its duration is extended. Oh yeah, don't forget, more viral damage. You may start to see a pattern here. Her third ability, Grave Spirit, gives Dagath extra critical damage, with the effects being doubled on doomed enemies, but also when you run out of health, you'll go into what's called Dagath's Spectral form, where you're briefly invulnerable and every kill you get gives you a health orb, 100%. Once the invulnerability is over, you then need to wait 25 seconds to cast the ability again, which is a unique little downside to it. Also, one thing to note is that while you have this ability active, if you fall down, you will lose this ability, and also you will go through the 25-second cooldown. That's the only little negative I can point out about her at this moment in time. And her ultimate ability, Rakali's Calvary, pretty much just spawns a bunch of caves that run in the direction you're facing, dealing a fair chunk of damage, but the better part is that depending on your power strength, it has armor strip. However, one thing to note is that the enemies need to be engulfed by Doom. And yes, it can fully strip their armor. Downside though, that energy cost. Holy heck. And there's a bunch of other better options for subsuming like Terrify or seeking shurikens with the augment. In conclusion, I really like Dagath. She gives me major Harrow vibes, and if you know me, even on a base level, that's always welcome on this channel. She also has a lot of potential for future builds, with her Grave Spirit being such a useful and potentially busted ability, if not already busted it, at the time I'm making this. Only time will tell though, but I really do like her. So anyway, this has been the Urban Spaceman, and thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.